Good morning and a very warm welcome to Frugalfull. My name's Lara. This is a frugal living and budgeting channel. It's very cold and icy today. I'm wrapped up nice and warm on my way to somewhere a bit special today, something a wee bit different to show you. I'm really excited about this. I haven't done it for a year, and as I'm coming to the end of my no low spend year, I did decide to keep some money aside for a very special one-off treat. Depending if I see anything, of course. I'm not going to buy anything just for the sake of it. But I'm going to a special event. It's called the Vintage Kilo Sale. I'm not sure if I've mentioned anything about it in the past to you, but it's such a fun event and it's so great. It's literally buying the items by weight. And it's a huge venue, racks and racks of vintage items, amazing vintage items of all sorts of things, different kinds of accessories through to different kind of clothes and all sorts of things. And what they do is they charge by the weight. If you buy something like a big coat, then something that weighs over a kilo for the individual item, they only charge a kilo price for it, and it's charged as a separate thing to all the other smaller items, if that makes sense. So if you're buying a bundle of light things, they're weighed by the kilo collectively. If it's a one-off big item, it's paid for as a separate, like still within the same bill, but it's charged as a separate single entry of a kilo. So you're never paying more than a kilo price per item, even if it's a big heavy coat, as I say, which I think is really reasonable. So the per kilo charge these days is £20 a kilo. It was 15 last year, but unfortunately due to the cost of living and everything going up, it's gone up as well. Surprise, surprise. But I still think it's pretty reasonable depending on the kind of things you buy. Like if you bought a coat for £20 and it's a really lovely quality one that's going to last, then that could be a good investment. Likewise, I try and deliberately buy things that I know are going to be practical, functional and last. And also I deliberately buy lightweight things. Like for example, I'll buy things like blouses that I know that I'm going to wear, that are like 70s or 80s, and they've got the print and the fabric and the lovely quality that I love, because I feel like quite a lot of modern clothes aren't always made. Sometimes they are, but quite often with fast fashion and things aren't the quality that they used to be, sadly. So it's really fantastic to be able to go to this event today. I hope I'll be able to show you a bit of footage of what it's like there. Even if it's just a few photos. And then if I do buy anything, it'll be super exciting to show you and share my haul with you later on. I'll have lunch afterwards. I was given very kindly, lovely gift, given a voucher to use for lunch. So I'm so looking forward to that. And then I'll see you there. See you soon. So I'm back, and unfortunately I lost the pictures. I'm sorry. There was the picture of what I had for lunch, but not of the event. But if you look up Worth the Wait Vintage, then you'll see what it was, the kilo sale. It looks as if they've got an online thing as well, but they go to different cities all over the UK, and they're just really great. It's such a handy way to check out really great vintage items, and it's a very fun environment. It looks as if the 1990s have come back in fashion again. So there were lots of 90s tunes being played and lots of fun things to see from the 90s, a real blast from the past, and 80s as well. So it was very nostalgic and fun. It was a lovely lunch. And I did pick up some goodies, so I permitted myself this money. I decided to just keep this separate from the low no spend year, because I'm nearly at the end of the no low spend year. I'm really happy with how it's gone. I haven't done perfectly, but I feel that I've done pretty well. And I allowed myself to buy some things and budget separately for it as a wee reward and treat. And I was able to do this because I had a trip away at the beginning of October. It's coming up in a video soon. It's later than when it actually happened, because I thought I would save it as a wee special travel video for nearer to Christmas. And I actually ended up not needing to pay at all for my travel for that trip because I'd experienced quite a few delays on my journeys, and one bad delay in particular on the way home where they completely cancelled all the trains from point A to B that evening. And I was lucky to get a train part the way and then a bus part the way, and it was very fortunate I just made the last bus by the skin of my teeth, or I would have had to try and find a hotel or get a taxi, and it would have been a complete nightmare. So anyway, I was very fortunate. Things worked out in the end, but I was ended up being refunded for all the travel cost, which meant that I had a little bit to put aside towards this, which was great. That covered this today. So I'm going to show you what I picked up. Very happy with these things. First of all, a couple of blouses. And that one, I absolutely love that print. It's so fun. And it's nice material. It's a kind of crepe material. It's a very generous fit, so it's super comfortable. And it hardly weighs anything, which is what I always deliberately try and find are lightweight items. So that was the first blouse. I have to be careful with this blouse because, well, it's going to be having some things done to it. The buttons are going to get changed and the shoulder pads are going to get removed. I don't want shoulder pads. But looking past that, it's such a lovely blouse. The shoulder pad thingies are leaking, so there's like this horrible brown powdery stuff, and I just don't want to get that everywhere, so I'll just be careful to show you this. Here we go. It's a really pretty kind of the shape of it, and I obviously, as you can probably tell, I love purple, and it's a nice kind of dark plum purple with this polka dot. It's a really fun blouse. So again, hardly weighs a thing. Absolutely love it. And the third thing, which is just a fantastic wintry thing, it doesn't weigh much for what it is because it's mohair with a synthetic lining so that it's not itchy. And again, it's purple, which I of course absolutely love. I always gravitate towards purple, and it's a lovely fit. And it's a lovely cozy style, very practical. So I'm delighted with that. So those are my kind of everyday items that I bought. And then the other thing that I got, now I got a few because my plan was to streamline it down, decide which ones to keep, and the ones I don't keep, I'll probably just sell. So I'm not looking to sell them to have extra money back or anything, but just to recoup. Like I can weigh them and see roughly what I must have spent on them, and then I'll be able to sell them and recoup what I paid. But some of the ones that I bought that are the kind of traditional fabric, I'll decide if I'm going to keep any, and which ones I keep I would swap with the ones that I already have and sell the ones I already have, or as I say, sell the ones that I got if I decide that I'm not going to keep them. So the ones I've got to show you here are ones that I'm going to have that I can wear with my own kind of casual everyday clothes, casual things. And these are traditional, but they're more relaxed to wear with the kind of Western style clothes, like a fusion. And what they are is a type of jacket from Japan that's traditional. So I'm sure you'll have heard of kimonos, and kimonos are beautiful traditional Japanese garments, and they are absolutely stunning, but not something that's practical. But you can get these jackets that are worn over kimono traditionally, but they actually look really lovely with things like jeans and kind of everyday Western style clothes. they can look so lovely, and they're very comfortable, they're very versatile, and they have gorgeous fabrics and prints, but more subtle than kimono designs. And it's just a lovely way to bring a bit of luxury into clothes. And I'm someone that loves patterns, colours and fabrics, and I'm not interested in following fashion, but I like to wear things that feel comfortable and that feel nice and cozy, and I'm very tactile. I love the touch of fabrics, and I also like to be a bit playful and fun and creative with what I wear. So I was really, really excited to find these things that I'm about to show you. The ones that I haven't decided on, they are because I do have a few kimono style, like, because I used to live in Japan. I love the traditional style kimono because I still culturally have an interest in Japan and want to be able to in the future go to kind of cultural things that are related to Japan. So it's nice to have, it'll probably just be in the end one or two kind of kimono things that I have, but as part of the ensemble have the kind of kimono jacket and different things that match, so it's like a set. So I'll decide on all of that myself later, what I'm going to keep for that and what I don't decide to keep for that. The more traditional things I'll just sell on, and the ones that I'm going to show you are ones that are more kind of casual styles and more practical fabrics to wear with everyday clothes. They are washable fabrics, and some of them are actually waterproof fabrics, which is very handy living in Scotland where it rains all the time. So without further ado, I'll show you what they look like, and I'll show you at the end what they're like on. This one is synthetic. I always try and see if I can find synthetic ones at the kilo sale. It's my priority. The ones that are kind of silky fabrics are very difficult to look after, and I'd only look for those if they match, as I say, things that I already have of the more traditional things. But I don't really need that sort of thing because I've already got things that I can mix and match for that anyway. So my priority was looking for synthetic washable material, more casual style, or things that can be worn as a kind of outer rain jacket, kind of light layer, if that makes sense. So first of all, isn't that gorgeous? It's like a kind of rainbow style, and it's the synthetic material. It's very lightweight, which kept the price down, and it's just so fun. So this type is called a Michiyuki because it has a, I should have poppered it already to show you. Right, I'll have to come back in a second. Right, I'm back again. Here we go. So, isn't it lovely? So fun. It'll be nice with jeans. More kind of springtime, summery kind of thing. And it's this kind of square style of neckline. Hopefully it's clear if I go like this, and it has poppers. So that's that one. Now next we have the same kind of idea, but it's in this kind of brown colour. So it'll be see, these are nice as like transition pieces, say spring, summer into autumn, or spring into summer, or winter into spring, or you know, I just think that it's a nice option to have a bit of a layer, but it doesn't need to be like a big heavy layer. And I love the silhouette with the lovely sleeves, and again the nice neckline, and then also this has such a nice lining inside as well. And some people actually reverse the design, but I don't think I will. And here are the sleeves. So they're pretty, and they're a bit unusual and fun and creative, but they're not like the giant long sleeves that you would get with a kimono, which wouldn't be practical. And then it has this white stitching, and the reason for that is because it's new. So I'll just take the stitching out and it's ready for action. So I really like that one. I think this is nice autumn colours. Like the last one, it hardly weighs anything, so at a kilo sale it's a good choice. Now this, I think, is I think this is actually a rain Michiyuki. So it's designed originally to wear over a kimono to help protect the kimono going out in the rain. So I think this one will be particularly practical and useful. The other thing is this colour. I wear this colour all the time and I really like it. It's just nice and simple. So I can see me using this a lot. Again, it's a Michiyuki style with the poppers. Let me just pop them a bit so I can show you better. Like this. So I really, really like this one. That's the most practical. This is a Michiyuki, but it's a long Michiyuki, which I think is a first for me. I think it would be a great thing to just stick over, wear with jeans and just stick over in a light shower to pop out. This material is totally washable, no issues with that. It's just a good layer to protect against the rain. And it's really hard to show you because it's just so subtle. But there's just, I think it's a water lily. Let's see if I can get it to show. Maybe you can just make it out there. But there's a very faint water lily design within it as well. I like this combination of the modern and the traditional in the print. I just think it's fun and it's something a bit different. It weighs the least of anything out of these things, these Japanese things. And then this is the final thing to show you. And it's a lovely material that's like a synthetic, but it reminds me a bit of linen. And it's great. It's this brown. Again, really good for autumn. I think that it will be good in the rain. I think it's originally designed for that. It's got a really nice design inside as well. And this is actually a different type of style of jacket that's called a haori. Oh, actually, do you know something? I don't know if it's a haori, come to think of it, because yeah, it is a haori. It's got these loops and you'd have these ties attached to that called haori himo. And the idea is that you wear it as an open jacket. And then there are these things called the haori himo that are attached to this, and they're like little ties. So you wear it as an open style with the little ties. And I could see me wearing that and even just adding a popper or adding a button or a little hook and eye or something. I think these things will be very, very practical and useful. So these are things I'll just incorporate into my everyday clothes. So love them. It didn't weigh too much for those things. Great finds. So the other ones, as I say, it'll be one in, one out rule with those. So they're budget wise, they're not really a factor anyway. And these things I prepared so that I had the funds for it. So it's been very fun to show you these things. I'll show you what they're like on now at the end as well. And thanks a million for watching. This was a very different video to usual, and I guess it wasn't as frugal, but having said that, a little bit of what you fancy factored into the budget doesn't do any harm, helps to keep on track, because we have to try and avoid frugal fatigue. So it's good to plan for treats every now and then, but that's the thing, planning ahead and having an assigned budget in place helps avoid blowing the budget and means that there can be some guilt-free pleasures and treats still every now and again. So it's been very fun to show you this today. Thanks. Bye.